stepping over Nike, had to cop those O's. Only in that BBB cause they black owned. I think I'm the GOAT. Bitch, I'm feeling like LeVar Ball. Taught these niggas with their guards off. Christine Lee, he is a blonde thot.
Alright, so game 3, Toronto wins 123-109. No Clay, no Durant. It felt like no DeMarcus Cousins either. He was complete trash, dude. 19 minutes.
Poor Golden State.
Right. 1 of 7. And yeah, just didn't do anything. Curry, though, 47 points on about 47% shooting. He did all he possibly could.
Right. It's crazy. Like, you won't understand this reference, Clay, because it's a Game of Thrones thing, but Curry in this playoffs with all the shit that's been thrown at this team, it's like Cersei in Game of Thrones, super hated character, and then there's a moment in the series where you actually like are forced to feel bad for her, and it sucks, and that's what I'm going through right now with Curry.
Right. Yeah, I mean, tonight proved a lot for him. Because it's been, well, he needs Clay, he needs KD to play his style of game, and it's like he came out and he stepped up to the plate and did all he could have done.
They just got no help, bro. Inefficient night from Draymond, you can't afford that, and then that's it. Like, after that, it's like Draymond's still at 17, but everybody else is just non-existent.
Iguodala, he hit like 1-3 in the first quarter, that's all I remember, but
if Quinn Cook's having your third best game in the finals, you got to reevaluate what's going on.
So, I mean, for the Raptors, though, I mean, their starting 5 played really well. Danny Green had those 6 threes.
Like all playoffs.
Yeah. Lowry played really well, dude.
I was saying more so with their starting lineup once they weren't playing Green as much. Green wasn't getting started minutes, but Green played really well tonight, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Van Fleet played 33 minutes off the bench.
That's the thing. They've been playing him more than fucking Green throughout like the last few rounds because Van Fleet was wetting the last series. And like beginning of this series.
Kyle Lowry hit some really big shots as well. A lot of answer shots.
He's so much more comfortable as a number 2.
Yeah. And the thing is, Leonard had a quiet 37-6.
You're right, though. Like, if you look at their starters now, like, you're not beating them no matter what Golden State did tonight. Bro, their starters played out of their mind.
And that's where the absence of Clay's defense is felt as well. Not just his offense, but his defense.
And just the strength of Golden State's best 5 not having that.
Yeah.
Like, the Raptors are good as fuck. Like, the OG, like, original fucking Golden State team, it would have been tough. Obviously, maybe they would have made it a series. But this Golden State team is just not able to... The starting 5 on the Raptors is actually disgusting.
Yeah, they have a lot of vet there. I mean...
Well, this Siakam guy, he's a monster out of nowhere, too, and you didn't expect that, so... When you look at the rest of those guys, and Danny Green's hitting 6 out of 10 from 3, they're not going to lose.
No. They were 17 of 38 from 3. I mean, that's really good.
Bro, their offense, their starting 5 shot like 53% from the floor.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose a game if that's the case.
They shot really well.
And like a bunch of threes, too. Like Kawhi shot 6 threes, Lowry 9, Green 10, and there's still like that efficiency was still there. Yeah, just they couldn't have lost. Like they played as well as they could have played, and that's what home court does for you too.
And they were also 20 of 21 from the free throw line. That's a big stat.
Which they've been doing all playoffs too. That was a big thing in the Bucks here. The Bucks are shooting like 65%, losing the game by 5 points.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Can Golden State bring it back? Do they have to get everybody back to bring it back?
They have to get Clay. If they get Clay back, then it's slightly favored Golden State. I don't think KD plays the series, dude. I mean, if it's that really bad, that's just it. It's reported as a calf strain, and all we have to go off of is what's reported. But it's like, how is he not playing at all?
It's just really weird that he's going to sit out this last finals and leave. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't leave, it would be even weirder. It would be even weirder. It would make even less sense.
But yeah, I mean, based on what we have right now, if they play the rest of the series like this, I think that's an obvious Toronto win. And
if no Clay,
yeah,
like this roster of box score that we're looking at right now, if that's who they're playing, Toronto's not losing this series.
I don't think
They're
that
not.
Toronto loses another game.
Another game against that team. Like, look at what Curry did tonight, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, like
and Draymond will play better. Maybe he'll have more impact. Sean Livingston and DeMarcus Cousins can obviously play better than that.
But at the same time, Wes, look at that defense that they have right there. They have Lowry isn't shit, but he's just going to help double team. But you have Danny Green, Siakam, Leonard, Gasol, and Ibaka off the bench. Like, that is great defense.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Livingston coming in, playing the other guard. He's a good defender, but I don't know if he's a Klay Thompson lateral quick.
No, he's a you can't get defender. To the paint on me guy.
And Curry, obviously, I mean, what else can Curry can't play D? Brady's getting 47. Like, somebody's got to play D for him at that point. And they just can't stop the Raptors without Clay being able to go, like having that good two-way player.
And you got to think this is at home, dude, and they got beat by 14. Toronto was consistently up 10-15 the whole game.
Wait, it was in. Hold on.
This was in Golden State.
Oh my!
Your shit just lagged out so hard.
Because Toronto had a better regular season record.
Yep, by one game.
Oh my goodness, dude! If they win Game 4, it's curtains.
Oh yeah,
it's curtains no matter. It's literally over if they win the next game. Then, like, I was thinking it's probably over, but then in the back of your mind, 3-1 comeback, Golden State gets to a home. No, they don't.
Nope.
If they don't get to it home, they're not making that comeback. If they win Game 4, it's chalk, dude. It's absolutely chalk.
And what's really crazy is the story of the game for Golden State was clearly Steph, but for the Raptors, bro, they played such good team basketball. No, not one person stuck out.
Right, and that's nobody. Like, if you look through the starting box score, like, it doesn't, like, Leonard's number stands out, I guess, but
the 30
shot
points.
selection, the amount of shots, the amount, like, they're just better.
Well,
There's a better roster than the current roster Golden State's putting forward, which is the other thing you would think you'd ever utter, because Golden State never has the injury problems that all these other teams have in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, just listen to the shots. Siakam, 8 of 16. Leonard, 9 of 17. Marc Gasol, 6 of 12. Lowry, 8 of 16. Danny Green, 6 of 10.
I mean, I did say it like a week or so, maybe more ago, 2 weeks probably. The key to the playoffs for any team coming against Golden State, you got to hope Durant just rolls the old ankle getting off the butt, and that has happened. So that is the key. Durant goes down, some shit starts to happen. Obviously, if they had Clay, it'd be a super competitive series, and it would look different, I think.
Yeah.
But Durant goes down, bro. They are not the same team.
Not
all
close.
That shit about they've won this many games with Durant, not like, give me a break, dude. Give me a fucking break. If they had Kevin Durant right now, they would be up 2-1 at least, if not 3.
Yeah, that it would probably, if they had KD.
They're not losing at home, first off.
No. It's just, and I'll say, I really, and I think I just got caught in the moment. I really thought that they just played much better as a team when Durant wasn't on there.
But to win at the highest level, they still need Durant. They're not talented enough to beat Toronto.
And that's just it.
Especially without Clay.
They beat the Blazers, and they beat the Rockets for a couple games, but I mean, Chris Paul wasn't efficient.
The Blazers would get smoked by Toronto.
Yeah, they would.
Toronto would smoke Portland. I would be shocked if Portland won a game against Toronto in a series.
Yeah.
Looking at how they both look now, just like standing back from it and saying Portland versus Toronto, Toronto's smoking. So who cares that Golden State beat them? It's like what we have to look at it now. Like, how good is Golden State in its current form? Not very good.
No. But
And they're not beating Toronto, bro. Drake did it. He fucking did it.
Do you think that if Clay comes back, that the Raptors still win?
What's that? If KD comes back next game?
Clay.
If Clay comes back, I think Raptors 100% still win, but it probably goes 7.
Yeah. I still think
Durant
this goes
comes
7.
back, that changes everything. That changes everything if Durant's able to come back. Even if it's 3-1, and then if Durant comes back, and imagine that. Imagine for Durant comes back game 5, just buries him 3 games in a row by himself and just wins the finals, and Dibs is like, fuck all.
That would be completely dirty.
That's kind of what I'm rooting for, not rooting for, but like, I would like to see that unfold and like kind of play out. Because the Clay thing would be interesting if he's able to come back. It's a be more competitive series, but I don't think Golden State's winning this shit without Durant.
No.
Not where it sits right now.
Definitely not looking that way.
And the whole thing is, you could be like, oh, Golden State come out and splash in game 4. Curry had 47 tonight. And they lost by double digits.
Yeah, that part is really weird.
At home. That was the same thing the first half. He had 25 and they were down double digits, or they were down 8 at the break. Like, he can't do it by himself. The way he plays specifically, like even dropping 40, he can't do it by himself.
So,
Raps, looking forward now, I got Raps in like 6, even though I said 7 beginning of the series. If KD doesn't come back, I think it's hard as fuck for them to get it to 7.
Right. Do you have any more on the series right now?
Go Raps.
Go Raps, yeah.
Started from the bottom,
now
getting murked by LeBron every year. LeBron left, now we're here. Like, that's what's crazy, too. LeBron left the rite of passage to the finals. Like, I don't know why LeBron went to LA. I don't understand the move.
It does not make a lot of sense.
It really doesn't. Like, people had told him that the West is hard, right?
Yeah,
you don't just walk into the playoffs in the West. And even I wouldn't have imagined that he wouldn't have been able to make the playoffs in the West. I thought he'd make it. I knew the fuck he wouldn't win in the West.
That's all I got on the rest of the NBA. Yeah, I'm still on my Go Raps.
But you're staying with Golden State as your pick, though.
Yeah, I'll still stay with them.
Through the adversity.
Yep.
I like that.
Oh, yeah, still staying with the pick. I mean, who knows? I mean, is Danny Green next game going to hit 6 threes? Probably not.
This will sound so corny and cringy, too, but I just think Toronto winning the finals is so good for the league.
Oh, it is. I really hope that happens.
Just please let Toronto win it. Don't let, this is where even when it gets to 3-1, if it gets to 3-1, like, I won't believe it until they win it either. Because Golden State does this, dude. They bring you in, and they ruin it for you.
Yep.
And they laugh about it.
That you have
and then they laugh about it. They're modern day New England in the NBA. The second you think it's over, it's not fucking over for them.
So, moving on, you gonna go UFC?
What are we going with?
Let's before we get into Nate Diaz, let's go with we were talking about kind of Gustafsson. I know that we mentioned that he lost.
Yeah, that's the best thing to start with that's the best thing to start with.
So I mean,
Anthony Smith submits him 4th round last weekend or the weekend before.
What kind of submission was it? Do you know?
I'm gonna find out now. Just give me some filler shit about Alexander Gustafsson.
So when he had the 2 fights with John Jones, correct?
Yes.
And the second one, he got daddied more.
He got murked. Second fight, first fight was a classic.
So what really brung up Gustafsson on the map? Because I know that what put him over was having a good match with John Jones, but
beat everybody in the division, got the title shot. Arguably won the first fight against John. Closest fight John's ever had. A lot of people thought Gustafsson won it,
including
and that
DC?
was the spark. I think because DC something like that to the effect, but then DC beat Gustafsson too. like John was out. DC had the belt. Gustafson got the shot at DC, and DC won.
Gotcha.
DC's wrestling is just so fucking good. I'm pretty sure it just like held up for him. But no, a lot of people thought Gustafson. It was kind of the old belt rule, right? Where you got to beat the champ. You really got to beat the champ to take the belt off him.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those situations where if there wasn't a belt on the line, Gustafson probably gets the nod.
Yeah.
But I've rewatched it. I think John wins, but I'm a John guy, so.
I'm a big John guy.
That put Gustafson on the map. He pushed John further than anybody ever has, even DC.
See, I like Gustafson and like how long he is. It just, I don't know. He matches up really well with Jones.
And his like awkward shooting technique, he doesn't shoot like a ton of bricks like DC. When DC just comes, gets a hold of you, and just goes with it. Gustafson creates like these like cheeky angles where he can get into guys, and like getting into John is very hard. So, and the whole thing is just to like we talk about how dominant John is. John doesn't even lose rounds for the most part. So, for a guy to have a claim where he almost beat him, it says a lot. Like it matters. It should matter more than probably even it does. Like nobody almost beat John like Gustafson did.
That came down to decision, right?
Not only did he almost beat John, he almost took the belt off him. But yeah, decision. Split decision for John.
I saw something earlier today, off topic. Do you remember the name Oscar Pistorius?
Yeah, the amputee.
Yeah, the Brazilian.
That killed his wife.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
He was so some other shit.
He was so praised whenever he ran, and then like this stuff came out about him, and it was such a huge thing.
And then wasn't it weird because the country that they're in is fucking fucked? So sentence was like 10 years for murder.
What?
In the first degree, yeah. Convicted of murder was like 10 years.
It says,
like, Jesus.
I just read something that said his murder sentence was increased to 15 years in 2017. So it probably was 10.
I'm still trying to find the submission.
You're good.
It's just said, normally it'll say submission by. I'm going to find it though. But yeah, Gustafson's career, pour one out for Gustafson, absolute beast. Alexander the Mauler, one of the greatest 205s to ever do it. Probably the greatest 205 never touched the belt. I think that's easy to say.
So while you're looking for that, do a quick history day. So we have, this is the, 93rd or 90, what anniversary is it for D-Day today? It was in what year? 44?
1945.
Was it 44 or 45?
I know 45s when they took Berlin, so it might be a safe bet to say 44.
It was 44. It was 44.
Okay, 44. So if it's 2019,
the 75th.
June, 60.
It's the 75th anniversary.
Year. Shout out to that. Shout out to D-Day.
Right, dude. Imagine
the
that.
Americans for blessing the Europeans in the European War.
Imagine that, just getting out of that and just immediately like seeing people get shot, like real life shit.
That's the thing. The Germans were almost as fucking crazy as the Japanese, dude. Like they just weren't gonna give it up. You're gonna have to come kill all the sons of bitches.
Yeah, that's just nuts.
But no, we blessed the Europeans in that war. Like the whole European front was it was doomed, especially West was completely doomed if we didn't intervene.
So as far as a history and sports day, last year on today, LeBron eclipsed Jordan for the most 30-point games in NBA playoff history, which is 109. 109 playoff games are 30 points or more. That's insane.
The George stands will say, well, LeBron's played more playoff games.
Like, whatever, dude.
Never said LeBron was as good a scorer as Jordan either. That's the whole thing. He scored more points than him. That's like crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's not made a big enough deal that he has more points than him. Nobody's ever said, oh, LeBron's just a scorer. You know what I mean? He could get buckets. It's like, no, that's not It's not how you describe LeBron. But Jordan, on the other hand, is the most elite scorer in history, probably. And the fact that LeBron's been able to amass more points than him in his career should be more mind-blowing to people, but I think everybody's numb to anything LeBron accomplishes now.
Yeah, it's just kind of like anytime he accomplishes anything, yeah, well, it's never just like
Rear naked choke.
Is rear naked choke.
Elbow strikes. Yeah, hit him with a bunch of elbows. I think it said it was like a long exchange on the ground before he got him.
And then Gustafsson hung up the gloves, boys.
He said, "Show's over, guys."
So, one more thing before we get on to Nate Diaz. So this is the guy that got absolutely wrecked by John Jones in their previous fight.
Anthony Smith, yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him moving forward.
Well, yeah, that division's kind of fucked until John leaves.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and chat on the Nate thing. Take it away.
Nate's the king of 155.
So he says.
He's moved on. He's vacating his 155-pound championship and going to 170.
That he doesn't actually have.
He slapped Khabib and he beat Conor last time he fought him, so he's the 155-pound champion. Nobody wants to fight him for the belt, so he's vacating it and he's going up to 170.
Talk about the slapping of the Khabib thing.
Okay, so he said it happened at the World Series of Fighting, and he said that he was around all of his Russian entourage, all of his boys, and that they were taking pictures of Nate and, like, laughing. And it could have been misconstrued, obviously. Khabib could have been, like, they could have been not joking in, like, a mean way or whatever, but Nate said, Nate didn't give a fuck. Nate walks up to the table, apparently says, "Fuck you," slaps Khabib in the face, says they're like outnumbered 10-15 to 2, and he said his team didn't do shit. Fat Bear didn't do shit. So he basically, in Nate's head, he's like, "I beat Khabib, I'm the champ." he doesn't want to fight me now. Apparently Nate wanted that Khabib fight, and Khabib said, "You got to beat somebody first." Before he's like, "What are you talking about? I beat the last guy that you beat easier than you beat him one of the times he faced him," which is true.
Yeah.
He did beat him easier. Like, Conor couldn't have got to the 4th round in that first fight if he had a fucking superpower. So, that's all he's saying. And then he slapped Khabib. So, Nate Diaz is vacating a 155-pound championship. And I hear Dustin Poirier and Khabib are fighting for his vacated championship later this year.
You see, I want some validation on him slapping him, but I don't see Nate Diaz being the one to lie about that.
100% happened, and he knows Khabib is such a hard ass that Khabib won't even deny it.
Or talk about it.
Khabib will be like, "Yeah, this happened, but now I'm going to smash." So,
right. That's just
and
the kind of the
is,
guy
I think Khabib eventually will move up to 170. So I hope we do get to see that. Nate and Khabib, just print money, bro. Just print money. Who's not going to buy Nate versus Khabib? Yeah,
that's too good.
Like, the whole faction thing, too. Nate has Nick and all of his guys from his gym. The Russian entourage. The fact that the Diaz's... Dude, we just need more Diaz's, let's be honest. We need more Diaz coverage in the UFC.
We need UFC more people
for Nate's next fight. I don't want to see anybody else in it. I just want to see Nate 24/7.
We need more people like the Diaz's, where they just go in, talk shit, and just embrace fighting.
They're just so old school and not into, like, the social media clout-driven bullshit that's going on in sports and in fighting now. And it's just such a fresh breath of air to hear Nate Diaz talk. As non-articulate as he is, I love listening to him talk.
Yeah, because he's just that old school, like, hard-ass guy. Like, he just loves to fight.
I'm doing...
But
right, and I'm still picking Pettis over him, even though I love Nate.
Yeah, I'm still taking Nate. So the thing is, we were talking earlier, if Nate wins this fight, I think that the Darren Till fight is a great option.
I don't. Nate, especially where Nate considers himself to be at, if he beats Pettis, he thinks he should fight for the strap. Till's not near the strap right now, coming off 2 losses.
See, I think that there's a lot better chance of Darren Till beating Khabib. I mean, not Khabib, but Diaz than Pettis beating him.
Well, I think so too, but that doesn't. Like, what have you done for me lately? Pettis has finished 2 guys in phenomenal fashion back to back. Till's lost 2 fights in a row.
Are you sure
Pettis
Pettis
closer to
has
the
won
belt.
2, or is it he won 1 and then lost that one to Ferguson?
2. Okay, so he's won 2 in between the Ferguson. He had a submission finish, lost to Ferguson, and then KO'd somebody since Ferguson.
Gotcha.
I fucking forgot he fought Ferguson. Was that on the undercard of Conor Khabib?
Yeah,
It was. And it was because if somebody pulled out, Tony was going to fill in. But the thing is, I honestly think Pettis has won 2 since then. That was fucking November last year.
Who was the co-main event on that card?
God.
Was that a woman's fight?
Derek, it was either Derek Lewis, my balls was hot.
No, it wasn't him. I know that for sure.
Then it was Joanna and Rose, right? Wasn't that a fight or no? Who was the... I can't even remember. The whole thing was built around Conor Khabib. I can't even remember the rest of the card. It may have been Tony Pettis.
No, that was the... Hold on, I'll find it. That was the fight before.
See, Nate didn't speak on Tony's name at all, though, when addressing the 155 division. Because he just knows, like, Tony's won 11 in a row in the division. What are you going to say? I'm better than that guy.
You know, Derek Lewis did fight on that card.
I don't think Nate wants those problems with Tony.
It's looking like Tony and Pettis was the co.
That's what I thought.
Derek Lewis did fight that at that card.
Or I know Derek fought, but I didn't.
Huh.
I was saying I knew Derek Lewis fought, but I knew it wasn't the co-main.
Right. But yeah, I think that he gets not a title shot the next fight, but he gets like a number 1 contender shot. Probably with Woodley.
If he finishes Pettis in spectacular fashion, maybe he gets the title shot, but that's not like Nate to finish anybody really in spectacular fashion.
He's not doing that to Pettis.
We'll have to see. But like, say Pettis finishes Diaz, Pettis probably gets a shot. Or gets at least the number 1 contender spot, too. Like, but I just don't... Like, Woodley's such a bitch, bro. Trying to fight Woodley just gets annoying for everybody.
Yeah.
But this weekend we have Henry Cejudo defending the 125 strap.
Against
Valentina
Morales.
Shevchenko defending the women's 125 strap. And hopefully if Nunes wins, that sets up... Or if Nunes wins, if Shevchenko wins, that sets up Nunes versus Shevchenko.
Yeah.
I've been dying to see that again. The premier fight to make in the women's division right now. But the thing is, if Nunes fought at 145 last, I don't know if that was her last fight. And then she fought Holly, or no, she's fighting Holly upcoming at 145.
She's fighting Holly. I think that her and Cyborg need to have a rematch, though.
Well, the thing is, if Shevchenko fights her, Nunes ain't coming down to 125. I can tell you that right now. So Shevchenko will have to go up to at least 135. I don't know if that's ideal. It's obviously more ideal than facing Nunes at 145, or she'll just spike your head off the canvas. And then Cowboy Tony.
I'm really excited for that fight.
Just hearing that fight said, like, Cowboy Tony, that just sounds amazing.
That just sounds like a fucking 3-round brawl no matter what.
Of just swinging.
Yes.
Just wild swinging. That Tony will win. With 12-fight win streak over Cowboy. Like,
I think
they can't keep hoeing Tony. They're going to have to schedule the Tony Khabib fight again as much as they don't want to.
I think that Tony does win, but I wouldn't be shocked if Cowboy wins.
Yeah, Cowboy's on a roll right now, but Tony's a different beast. And that's the thing, man. Nobody wants to hear Tony Khabib again because it's been scheduled so many times. But Khabib's not losing to Poirier.
No.
And Tony's going to win, so that's the fight.
Do you have
hopefully Poirier can make that fight for Nate Diaz's vacant 155-pound title interesting.
I've always been a Nate guy. I think that he wins, and then I think that he probably runs his mouth to where he gets himself a title fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he thinks he should have got one now. He thinks he should be fighting Khabib for the strap. So if he wins another fight, he's not accepting. If he beats Pettis, he's not accepting anything but a title shot. He's pissed that he's not the main event on that card.
Yeah.
He was pissed that he wasn't going to be the main event on with Poirier on that card. He just doesn't understand why the UFC won't build the card around him.
I don't know. He's a very marketable guy.
But that's probably it.
Yeah.
On MMA.
NFL.
Just some good old Nate Diaz shit. Love Nate.
Always have.
I just love how they talk about slapping people too. They just always talk about it. He's like, well, should I slap that? He didn't do shit. Like, I've heard times too. But like what his famous quote to Ariel Helwani when I guess Ariel was stirring shit.
Uh-huh.
And Nick's like, shit I come from. Guys like you get slapped. And the way Nick looks at the camera, it's just like, it's fucking gold. He's like, guys like you get slapped. But no, I want to see Nate Khabib and the Entourage battle. But we're off MMA now. I want to see Nate Khabib a lot.
So the video that's been posted a lot is how Baker's connecting with OBJ in practice, and people are like, "Oh, this connection looks good. What are we thinking?" Like,
I mean,
like you said earlier, there's no one around. Like, who knows?
It's one thing if they posted it once or twice, but I swear to God, I've seen like 5 clips of OBJ running a quick slant over the middle with nobody there.
Yeah, and Baker's hitting him in stride.
They're pros. They can throw an uncontested pass.
Yeah, that's like Steph Curry hitting a 3 when no one's around him in practice. Like,
yeah, that's him pulling up before the game, hitting 2 threes back to back, and then ESPN tweeting out, "Oh, Steph
Curry's locked in. He is locked in tonight."
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God.
So
like that guy doesn't bury 40 in a row before he plays a game. Like they don't like. They're just so everybody's wanting to get this Browns are back shit underway so fast.
It's the new thing that's in.
Can we let them win some games first?
Oh no, the hype on them is going to be ridiculous. It's in preseason.
And the thing is, people act like the Steelers or the Ravens died.
Oh yeah, they're just on the new thing, dude. That's all they care about is the new thing.
We lost Brown and Bell, so we're basically the Jaguars now.
That's the way people are treating us, like we're the fucking Giants.
We're fucking the Jets, the Bills. We are nobody now because we lost the 2 greatest players to ever grace a football field. And the Ravens, who on their horrible years go 8-8 with a quarterback that can't throw.
Just because of how good a defense they have.
They're just written off, Browns are better than the Ravens. Obviously, Cincy sucks. I'll give Cleveland the edge on Cincy. Cincy's a joke.
Well, that's just it. They got a new coach in there. Imagine that they're an 8-8 team. Like, how hard this division really would be.
Cincy can't win 8 games, right? With a new coach.
No, but they have good talent.
They always have.
That's just it. Maybe they get a coach in there that's worth a fuck, and they win 7 games.
I think what we'll start to realize is it's a deep or rooted problem in Cincy, and wasn't so much Marv.
There was just more to it than that.
And the thing is, they Marv in the position because they knew it would fall.
Yep, it was.
But we'll see. Like, because you just can't go that long with no playoff success though and have the same head coach. Blasphemy in modern day NFL. To go 12 years plus without a playoff win and have the same head coach.
Dude, I am so tired of Tom Brady still playing. Like, why can't this dude just fucking retire? Like, what is he trying to prove? Like, yes, dude, we know you're really good at quarterback. Like, no one wants you there anymore. We're really tired of your bullshit.
I mean, he's just trying to set the GOAT bar to a completely unattainable level.
I just hate that he's that determined to do this shit.
I've gotten over it, dude.
Your shit just lagged out. I didn't hear what you said.
I was saying I've just gotten over it. I've wasted a lot of energy in my life hating Tom Brady.
I feel like
I hate the org.
Yeah. Everyone always tries to say, well, is Tom Brady good because of Belichick? Is Belichick good because of Brady? Like, it's just a great duo.
New England's good because of Brady.
They're good because of both.
When Brady leaves, that's all she wrote for the franchise.
Chances are.
And I can't wait. And that's the thing. I'm just done wasting my energy hating him forever.
But at the same time, if Belichick left, I mean, are they still going to be what they are? No.
I'll take my chances with Brady.
It depends on what quarterback you're giving me, but I'm thinking about that a little bit harder.
But yeah, it's just the age-old question. Give me Brady over that fuck.
I mean,
corny fuck.
Yeah. I mean, quarterback league, and I mean, how good can your coach really do? Can't go out there and make plays for you.
Can't play for you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Brady's got to do it, dude.
Yeah.
And he fucking does it every time.
Mr. Check Down.
Yep, Mr. Crossing Routes, Mr. Drag Route.
God, bro, I hate...
Mr. Send the guy in motion drag route.
I hate whenever they're in a close game, and it's like a last drive or last two drives, and he just, like, converting every 2nd and 6, 3rd and 4.
Sending Julian Edelman in motion from the slot, running a quick slant or a quick out. Over and over.
The quick hitch on Rob Gronkowski that we finally won't see anymore.
I can't believe Gronk retired. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, wow, he's actually gone. That's going to be pretty weird.
Maybe he just isn't about that CTE life.
Can't blame him. Got in, got his money, got out.
Got out, exactly. That's Conor McGregor's, like, vibe to MMA, too.
Yeah, and he's selling
he's like,
his whiskey.
Sport to get rich.
Now he's selling his whiskey, so it's like, I can make money by not getting my face beat.
That's blown up beyond anybody's, like, expectations, too. That's done way better than anybody would have thought.
Yeah.
Like, people said, like, he can obviously live off that. And he's always said that. He's like, I'm in this sport to get rich. He's like, the name of this game is to get in, get rich, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, like, what's a legacy really doing for you? You have all this money.
He just needs to be smarter about picking his fights. He can't go up against grapplers like Khabib, and he won't take damage. If he goes up against guys that will stand with him, that's his game. He won't take that damage he's worried about taking.
But
like that Floyd fight, he got quote-unquote fucked up, right, the last 3 rounds, but I just guarantee the damage he took from that doesn't compare to the Khabib fight, to the first Nate fight, to the Chad Mendes fight of the bows bouncing his head off the canvas. Like, if he can stand an exchange with somebody, he's fine.
yeah, I mean, that's obviously where his game is at.
I'm just saying he needs to be particular about picking his matchups going forward to tailor toward that.
You know what's really weird to think about is how the Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost 4 straight. Like, that is really weird to think about.
Yeah, I don't know how you come back from that as a fan.
I don't know how you, as a team, can't win 1.
I would chalk, like, my enjoyment of the sport at that point.
Imagine the Steelers going to 4 straight Super Bowls and losing all 4 of them.
It's fucking impossible to do that. That would be that's a horror story. That's literally a horror. Like, I would quit watching at that point. It's too painful. I thought it's been bad enough, but
did you watch the 30 for 30 on that?
Yeah, multiple times.
So, was it like in the Super Bowl? Because I haven't seen it. Did they just fall apart? Did the other team just play really well?
A couple times they got smoked. A couple times they completely choked.
Gotcha.
I think it got smoked by the 49ers ones. Or AFC had to be 49ers. I think the 49ers smoked them one time. I think the others were chokes. It was missed kicks, I think, for the most part. They would miss field goals that could have won.
I think I remember something about a missed kick here or there.
I think it was multiple. I think at least 2 of the 4 years, if not 3 of them, came down to missed field goals, and then they got mollywopped one time.
But that's anything else on NFL?
Fuck the Pats.
That's all I got too.
That's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so.
Speaking of that, Goldberg and Undertaker, I saw were facing off.
That's all they got, bro.
Combined 106
if you
years.
If you don't think that ship's going down, just think about that. The fact that Undertaker and Goldberg are headlining a fucking WWE event in 2019.
They're both. There's 110 years combined there.
They're both well over 50.
One's 52, one's 54, 56.
Yeah, dude. And they're both fucked up beyond, recognition. Good for them for going out and giving it the old try, but the WWE's falling apart if they need Goldberg, Undertaker to sell tickets.
They need Chris Jericho. Is Chris Jericho part of AEW?
Yes, he's pretty much the reason AEW is what it is.
They need to get that management in with the WWE.
Oh, that's the whole thing, Bryce. This has become completely nuclear war between the two companies. They are the WW going up and competing, and nobody's done it since WCW in the late 90s, early 2000s. This is the first time there's been a North American promotion that's rivaled WWE since then.
It's weird to think about.
And it's lit. It's different. It's going to murk WWE if they don't do something different, which they're incapable of doing anything. Brock Lesnar is the Money in the Bank holder right now, and he's going to cash it in and win the title again.
Yep.
What are we talking about here? And Goldberg and Undertaker are headlining in 2019. They stand no chance against this other company. Specifically because the Jaguars owner, the son of the Jaguars owner, is the guy bankrolling AEW, so they have unlimited money.
So, my thing is, you think about whenever we were younger, who headlined WWE, Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, Kurt Angle.
And they still are.
Yeah. When we were, 5 to, 12.
Bro, at that same show, Goldberg and Undertaker, Triple H, and Randy Orton are in a match.
Ric Flair,
How many
Shawn
times have we seen Triple H and Randy Orton?
Oh my God.
7 million times.
Yeah.
It's so tired. It's such a tired product.
But, yeah, I don't want to go in anymore on WWE. That's just something I want to touch on.
Hold on. Something I was going to bring. I was going to bring some heat on it. I cannot remember. It was like what you were talking about.
About who, has headlined it for so long?
You were saying, it was under... Jericho said the whole reason that he dipped and this has become a thing is, remember best friend angle with Kevin Owens?
Yeah.
That was the hottest thing. It was good, and Chris was so fucking good at the role. And he said that it was just bullshit that him and Kevin Owens weren't main eventing for the strap. They took the strap off Kevin Owens by having Goldberg beat him in a squash match and had Goldberg and Brock fight for the title in the main event.
Jesus.
And it should have been Kevin Owens versus Jericho in the main event.
Yeah, I can see why he left him.
He's like, yeah, it's just no point, dude. You can be the hottest thing in wrestling and they'll still, put you on second. At Mania, they don't give a fuck.
Just so they can put, Triple H or The Undertaker in. So. Yeah, anything else?
WWE's fucked. That's the summary of that.
So, I'm pretty good on everything else. You good?
I think I'm good. You want to touch on MLB or anything?
No, Yankees lost tonight. Vlad Guerrero Jr. hit a bomb.
I knew that they were 38-20 as of recently. That was their record.
They're still
leading. Amazing.
They're still leading the East with all their injuries.
Yeah, I don't know how you're 38-20 with nobody playing. Doesn't make much sense.
Nope, I'm all for it though.
Yeah, sign me up for that. Just get to the All-Star break alive.
Go Raps.
Go Raps. Raps in 7. You heard it here first. I fucking told everybody Raps in 7.
You Ben had said that.
The Raps. the fucking Raps, bro.
All right, we can take out, boys.
Peace.